Hello, welcome to Team Shape. Here's a little introduction to us. My name is Haley Shoemaker, and I'm from West Ottawa High School.
My name is Lydia Foy, and I also go to West Ottawa High School.
My name is Rebecca Keener, and I go to Hudsonville High School.
My name is Ivan Lopez, and I go to Zeeland East High School.
I'm Giselle Roman, and I go to West Ottawa High School.
I'm Ashley Meyer, and I'm from Hamilton Community Schools.
I'm Lauren Fisher. I go to Holland Christian High School.
I'm Cielo Morales. I go to Fenville High School.
I'm Noah Canis, and I go to Holland Christian High School.
I'm Sarah Schloff, and I go to Holland Christian High School.
And I'm Scott Ziegenfelder, and I teach at West Ottawa High School.
So what is Shape? Well, from what we learned, Shape Corporation is primarily an automotive industry, so they do things with their hands. Pretty cool, right? Shape was founded in 1974. This means that Shape has existed for 47 years. Shape also works with multiple companies such as Ford, Tesla, Toyota, and the list goes on. You can see some more on the right. And if you look at the photo, you can see Shape's logo, social medias, and motto: thinkers, believers, doers. Now let's pass the next slide to Ivan, who's going to talk about Shape's locations.
Thank you. Shape is a massive corporation with 14 locations in 9 countries across the world, with over 2 million feet worth of manufacturing space, making Shape Corp one of the leading lightweight bumper manufacturers. Now I'm going to pass it over to Rebecca.
Thank you, Ivan. While we worked with Shape, we learned that Shape has about 4,500 employees. If you were to go to Shape, most of the time you will find employees welding metals. Most of these welders are creating bumpers, however, they can make other metallic items. A Shape employee mentioned how the virus has impacted their sales. To fix this problem, Shape began to build bed frames using extra materials they had. This helped them to earn more money and help other people. Haley will now talk more in detail about a specific bumper.
Thank you, Rebecca. One of Shape's coolest innovation is the Corvette Stingray carbon fiber bumper. And you might be thinking, this company just makes bumpers. What's so cool about that? Well, Shape products are actually pretty special. They're special because not only are they the first curved bumpers in the world, but they also keep us safe by absorbing energy in a car crash. They also weigh less than competitors, and that's always a plus considering how good these bumpers are. Now, in the next slide, I'll be showing you something special. So here's my cardboard and duct tape prototype of a Corvette Stingray carbon fiber bumper. In the photos, I created the Corvette Stingray front and rear bumper. And I already know what you guys are thinking. This is amazing. This took me about 5 hours. There was a lot of trial and errors throughout the process. An example of my process is the photo at the very bottom right. You can see a lot of Sharpie marks, some bending process, and tape to stick the figure together. This gave me a feel about how Shape would start off with cardboard and duct tape and eventually move on to metal and create the real thing. Now, in the next slide, I will introduce to you guys an interactive question. As an employee, so before we get to the question, I would like it if you guys were to answer by your fingers, 1 being always, 2 being sometimes, and 3 for never. And I would like to just add that it's okay if you guys never look at your emails. This is what we are here for. And if you don't want to hold your fingers up, you could just type in the chat or shake your head. So here's the question. As an employee of Shape, do you guys let your emails accumulate? And because of this, have you missed any important announcements? Awesome. Now Lydia will introduce us to our driving question.
So first we were introduced to our company, and then we were introduced to our driving question. Our driving question is, what is the best way Shape can communicate with their employees? I'm going to now hand it over to Sarah to explain the journey to finding our solution.
Thank you, Lydia. So interpretation was really important in this part. And to make sure we were all on the same page with understanding what the question was asking, we came up with our own ways to state it. Once we all felt we understood it, we started asking about specifics. So like, what will the company be communicating? How often? How many people? And every time we received new information, either from Bailey, a mentor, or just by doing our own research, we would apply it to the driving question and continue forward, and we would adjust our direction if we needed to. Now Giselle is going to talk to you a little more about our process.
Thank you. Our process was eventful. It consisted of learning about each other, our company, understanding the company's driving question, and asking employees and others about communication styles. After gathering valuable information, we created a document and inserted our ideas and the answers to the questions we had solved. We looked for apps that met the needed requirements and sorted out their pros and their cons. In the end, we took a vote anonymously and came down to one particular app. Sarah will now explain some tools we used during our journey.
Thank you, Giselle. So we used a lot of online tools during our journey in order to work together and collaborate effectively. And one big thing we used was a Jamboard, like the one you see above, to share and organize our thoughts and ideas. Next, I will talk to you about another tool we used. We also created something called an empathy map. So this is what we use to get into the shoes of SHAPE employees. There are 4 categories: what the employees see, hear, say, and do on the manufacturing floor. By filling out the empathy map, we were able to better understand the situation SHAPE is in from the perspective of the employees. And this really helped us decide what to look for in our solution. Next up is Cielo, who will tell you about our investigation phase.
Thanks, Sarah. One of the more important parts of our investigation phase was interviewing others. We asked them about how they receive info from work, COVID, online challenges, common methods, and how often they check their social platforms. A lot of people said they best communicated through text and email normally, but now with COVID, you would imagine they were relied on heavily. Others say they felt emails piled up and didn't know if their text or emails were being read. We were able to learn a lot from an employee's perspective, as well as what to avoid. We also received a few good ideas from other people that we looked further into. Now I'll hand it over to Giselle to talk about past communication methods at SHAPE.
Thank you, Cielo. SHAPE has tried physical mail, but it was an issue because most people would not read it or would simply throw it away. They also had a dilemma with email as well, because people would have trouble receiving it and/or would again not read it at all. In some cases, employees didn't know how to manage their email or didn't even have an email to begin with. Having a phone number will make information more accessible and quicker to obtain. Cielo will now discuss the candidates.
Thank you, Giselle. By the end of our process, our goal was to find a platform that SHAPE could use to communicate brief messages and/or plant updates with their employees. It had to be a service that could reach anywhere from 100 to 750 people at a time, is affordable, and easy for everyone to use. We focused mostly on these 4 platforms. Slack and Jostle, after clarification from customer support, ended up being too expensive and were more of a 2-way team collaboration platform than a quick method of communication. Although Remind did look promising, it was an educator-based platform meant for teachers. So that only left us with TextMagic. We also looked into other various apps that we either heard from others or we looked up ourselves. These didn't make the count only because they were too confusing or they didn't fit the requirements that we were looking for. We wanted an app where communication was easy for everyone, affordable, and reliable. Lauren will now talk more in depth about TextMagic.
Thanks, Cielo. After a group vote, we decided that our #1 app choice was TextMagic. On the next slide, I'll go through starting information on TextMagic. So on this slide, we have some information to start out with. Some features are that you can import contacts, schedule when messages will be sent, and you can create and send surveys through TextMagic, whether it be for customer feedback, checking in with your team's performance, or other reasons. The fourth feature listed is that you can template messages, which means that you can take an existing template or create your own to make communication simple yet efficient. TextMagic has 9 templates for you to choose from that you can customize to fit your specific situation. Templates include appointment reminders, customer alerts, callback requests, delivery service reminders, and more. The price per text is 4 cents in the United States, with each text containing a maximum of around 150 characters. TextMagic also offers a free trial with access to all features that lasts 1 whole month. Now Giselle will explain the pricing.
Thanks, Lauren. So, if a message were to be sent to 100 employees, the price would be $4. If that is done per week, the cost would be about $208 per year. As Lauren had mentioned, the cost is 4 cents per text, much cheaper than previous emergency text services of $1 per credit. The limit is 150 characters, but there will be an extra charge if the text exceeds that amount of characters. Noah will now give some detail on testimonials.
Thanks, Giselle. There are many testimonials, reviews, and case studies about TextMagic on their website. These are just a few. JJ Ventui, a manager at a trunking company, a review from George Julian, a senior developer at a website designing company, and also Sean Wilhelm, who is a managing director of a pest prevention company. All have good things to say. TextMagic has tons of good reviews, and many companies have said that their product is helpful. TextMagic has worked very well for many businesses, and we think it can do the same for you. We also looked through reviews on different websites like Captura. The overall TextMagic rating was 4.7 stars out of 5, with ease of use being rated 4.7 and customer service being rated 4.6. An IT specialist, Nicholas, who has been using the software for over 2 years, stated that he is very likely to recommend it. And now Ivan is going to talk to you about how TextMagic looks.
All right, thanks, Noah. As you can see on the model, TextMagic makes it very simple to manage your contacts so you know who you're talking to. TextMagic promotes two-way conversation, making it simple and easy to get feedback from your employees. When you send out a message, employees will receive a notification. Then all they have to do is press on the message to read it, which makes TextMagic very efficient and simple to use on your mobile phone. Now Rebecca will explain how TextMagic looks on your desktop.
Thank you, Ivan. This is what TextMagic looks like on your computer. Here you can see an overview of the different tabs like the chats, contacts, and schedule to send text. On the bottom is the Help and Support tab, which sends you to the Support Center on their website. This contains how-to articles, video tutorials, frequently asked questions, and a Contact Us tab where you can send an email asking any questions you might have. Additionally, a customer support telephone number is off to the side. Now we will continue to view the calendar section. Presented now is a look at the Scheduled tab, where you can see all the texts that have been scheduled to send and scheduled texts that have been paused and completed, plus a calendar where you can see when texts are being sent. Now Lauren will talk more in depth about how texting works through TextMagic.
Thanks, Rebecca. So I did start the free trial, and in order to test it, I used it to contact my brother. He has not heard of TextMagic before this, and he didn't have it either, but he still got the notification and was able to respond. On his screen, it looked like a regular text message on the iMessage app, just from a new number. If you'd like, I could send out a text to anyone who's willing to put their phone number in the chat. Now Noah will explain the pros and cons of TextMagic.
Thanks, Lauren. TextMagic is a tool that has a lot to offer and it is set apart from other tools in many ways. The pros of this application are as follows. No account setup fees. This means that in order to get your employees onto this application, it won't cost you anything to set up. TextMagic is also both a web browser and an application. Wherever your employees are, they can get your messages. You can cancel anytime, free of charge. If you don't like using this, you can cancel your account without any cost. TextMagic is incredibly easy to learn. All of your employees will be able to get the hang of it within minutes. Also, only the administrator needs the app, so this will clear out a lot of confusion with the employees, as all they have to do is wait for the messages to come in. Some cons, on the other hand, are you have to purchase credits to use instead of paying for the messages themselves. However, you can purchase these credits at any time, and if you don't use some, you have the option to return them. Second, TextMagic does not offer messaging to some of the countries where Shape operates. I talked over the phone to the support for TextMagic, wondering why this was the case, and they said it was because of restrictions that certain countries have on mass messaging and infrastructure that denied them the ability to provide service to those areas. And now Lydia is going to talk to you about how to best implement TextMagic effectively.
Thanks, Noah. So we wanted to make sure that all the Shape employees are ready to use TextMagic as a new way of communication at Shape. While employees don't have to do anything to set up on TextMagic besides providing their phone number, we know that a new way of communication might be confusing for some people. So to implement TextMagic, we thought the best way to get the information out to the employees would be to provide an educational pamphlet just entailing what TextMagic is about and what kind of messages might be coming through TextMagic. The educational pamphlet can be sat out in a break room or posted on Shape Web. Shape can also put banners up on the monitors in the break room to get the idea of TextMagic out to their employees. I'll now hand it over to Sarah to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you guys so much for your time and for listening to our presentation. Also, each of you will receive a copy of this presentation with our emails on the last slide, so you can reach out to us if you have any questions, or we would love to answer any of your questions now.